Good evening, everyone. It's Shamila Ramjawan coming to you from the Red Corner Chat. And this evening we have a dynamic couple that's joining me, Michael Mathews and Robbie Mathews. And they are from the Mathews Entrepreneur Group, Incorporated, USA. Serial global entrepreneurs, international speakers, published authors, manuscript development coaches, financial educators and coaches, licensed insurance agents, and good evening, Robbie and Michael.
Hello, Dr. Shamila, and thank you for having us. It's a fun, pleasing pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
It's only a pleasure, and I'm so looking forward to having a conversation with you because you're such an inspirational couple. And I think, you know, you're going to share a lot of insights today, and a lot of people are going to pick up the pieces and just enjoy what you're doing and how you've actually come about into this global sort of a sphere in just elevating yourselves, your brand, your organization, and working together in the same company.
Yes. That's a challenge.
Yes, that's a wonderful challenge, but it's a beautiful thing.
Well, talking about that challenge, I think that's where we're going to start. We're going to start about who you are. So I think if I give Robbie a chance first, and then we can go on to you, Matthew.
Okay. Well, just to kind of get the technical things out of the way, Matthew, we're the owners and founders of the Mathews Entrepreneur Group that's headquartered in Chicago, USA. And Michael is the CEO and I'm the president. And we have two core businesses that we both work through. And one of the businesses is the financial empowerment side of the business. And through there, we educate, empower, and elevate people to take control of their personal finances. The second part of the business is the manuscript development part, which Michael leads that effort, where he helps people get their books out of their head so they can be read.
That is so interesting. Thank you. Matthew, it's your turn.
Yes, we do several other things as well, but those are our core businesses models, and we have businesses that we have what we call an automatic pilot because we're real estate investors as well. We do land banking in Orange County, California, in the Palmdale, Lancaster area. We do rental property investment in the state of Tennessee, and we also do mobile home investing here in Chicago. But several of my business partners are here on the line with me, and we also have an online referral service business that's gone global, and it's called Fortress. And I want to thank all of the members for joining, because Charlie Munson probably invited everybody, Shaid from Philly, and everybody, Amber. I just can't name everybody, but those are some of the companies that we run and operate, to not only to make money, but to serve and help others to do the same exact thing.
Wonderful. So I just want to get my head around this. Why going into the financial space? What prompted you to actually do something like that?
Okay, well, basically, Michael, ironically, wrote a book called Financially Speaking. And he wrote this book back in 2008. Back then, we were just helping our friends and family, kind of sharing some of the things that we did to help get our financial house in order, so to speak. Well, from that book elevated us into becoming speakers because people wanted to hear us speak about financial education. And from there, we traveled around the world, spoke in South Africa, London, California, all over. And so also from there, so being published authors, people wanted to hear our story. We were able to interview celebrities. So then we decided we needed to do more than just speak about it. We needed to start actually coaching people and educating them on taking control of their personal finances. And then also from there, it was, well, now that they're educated, do they have the tools necessary to take the next step? So we became empowerment. We provided empowerment as well so that we can elevate. So we educate, empower, and elevate from a financial standpoint.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Matthew, how many years did it take you to get to where you are and to being such a successful person?
Well, I'm enrolled in the University of Lifeology because learning is a lifelong process. So I'm still evolving. And I've graduated from the School of Hard Knocks because I had a rough time coming up in my lifetime. So I hit my goals and dreams at an early age. I played high school basketball on championship teams. I played collegiate basketball on district championship teams. I played professional basketball overseas in Europe. So as a trained athlete, I was trained to win, but accept the losses along the way. So early in my career, I had a lot of money, but I did not have financial literacy education. I didn't lose my money, but I spent it. So that still doesn't make it right. So I asked the universe, I said, if you ever give me a chance to make this kind of money again, one of my missions will be to go around the world to help teaching financial literacy education. And this was even before I met my wife. I was single at that time. So when I met my wife, she just happened to be blessed to be in the right profession. She was a vice president of a Fortune 500 financial services firm. So they were used to talking about $1,000,000, $1 trillion mergers, acquisitions, hospital takeovers. So I learned the financial industry from with my wife and all of her friends. And that prompted me to go back in 2008, like Robbie said, and write our first book on how we use our 7 Live Wealthy principles in order to get to where we are today.
Right. So since we didn't come from generational wealth, and we actually had different paths to where we met and got married, because I was actually homeless at 18 with two children. So I had to teach myself how to take care of a family and how to take care of children. So I self-educated myself, and I was fortunate enough to get the job in financial services, which afforded me that opportunity to learn and to grow. And so when we came together as a couple, we decided that we needed to work together as a unit and to put processes in place to help our financial future, and so that we could leave a legacy for our family and our community. So it took courage and commitment. It took a lot of compromises, but dedication, and also, as Michael said, that desire to serve others is what motivates us to do the things that we do.
Wonderful. And you also co-authored a book. Do you maybe want to take me through that?
Yes, our first book was Financially Speaking in 2008, Volume 1. And then in 2016, we wrote the second volume in 2016, which we launched. And because of that second book, we launched that second book in 2016, it's the book that actually started our serious uphill slide in the world of entrepreneurship. Because Robbie said, well, Michael, people are asking us to speak, so we need to become better speakers. So we went to a one-day event, and a gentleman asked me, why was I here? I said, I'm already an author. I want to be a better speaker. He said that your dream is too small. You need to become an international speaker. So right then I interviewed Mike Dicker. The very next month we flew to Hollywood and interviewed Al Pacino. Then the next 2 or 3 months we flew to the beautiful country of Johannesburg, South Africa, where I met Charlie at. And then we're still friends here today. And we was on the stage with Randy Zuckerberg. We spoke internationally, and Robbie had the chance to interview Ndaba Mandela, Nelson Mandela's grandson. And Charlie and I became business partners and friends ever since. We just clicked it off.
Well, I feel so honored and privileged to have you here on my chat show. Because, I mean, you know, you've done amazing work, and I hope that one day I get to meet you as well.
Oh, absolutely. After COVID, we'll be able to resume our international travels so that we can, because one thing we find, especially when it comes to financial education literacy, it's meeting people where they are and understanding where they're coming from. But one of the things while we were in South Africa, one of the things that we discovered is that we are really, when it comes to our finances, we're all the same. Mm-hmm. We spend too much money. We don't save enough money. And so the principles that we teach through our Live Wealthy principles are global. They apply to everyone, that you have to adopt a different mindset. You have to transform your financial DNA so that you can emerge to become a more financially responsible human being.
Right. It doesn't matter if you're spending the Russian ruble, the South African rand, the US dollar, the Australian dollar, or the Mexican peso. The financial literacy journey is the same for all of us. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. And then of you keep, how much do you make it work for you while you sleep?
Wow. Wow. Yes. I think we all need that. We need some financial literacy and help in that area. So as a married couple, going through COVID-19, I know a lot of couples have now learned to live with each other again, but just in terms of impact, how did it impact you, with business? How did you juggle your relationship, being married and working together, having a business together? So do you want to maybe take me through that?
Yeah, I'll speak on that.
Okay. Yes, let's do it. Woman power.
Well, see, the thing with Michael and I, we are best friends. We have been best friends since we first met each other. And so our friendship and our love for each other supersedes anything else. We don't sweat the small stuff. Now, don't get us wrong. We do have moments where we disagree, but we know how to disagree without being disagreeable. And then we also have a separation of duties when it comes to our business. He's the creative, he's the writer, and he comes up with all these ideas. I'm the implementer. I have to kind of like, okay, that's fine, but let's keep focused on, what we need to do. So we have separation of duties. And that way, we're not necessarily stepping on each other's toes. And we actually like each other. So being in the same house and being sequestered or quarantined or whatever you want to call it is nothing new for us. I mean, we've been retired. He retired in 2012 from corporate America. I retired in 2014. So we've spent all our days together anyway. So it's not new for us to spend time together. And you basically have to have the same goals. Like I said, when we got together, we set goals for ourselves and what we wanted to do. And we focus on accomplishing those goals as opposed to focus on competing with each other. And I think that's the key, is that you have to like each other. When we do. Sometimes I have my moments.
So it's not about tolerating each other. It's about liking each other, right?
It's about liking each other, right?
Right. If you can like a person, it's easier to love a person. Because a lot of people say they love you, but they don't like you. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the small elements in building relationship capital with my wife that we do awesome. Because I generally like her as a person, period. Because if I didn't like her, I couldn't love her. Because I can't love a person I don't like. So when we got to that love track factor, because you do business or you marry somebody who like, love, and trust. So I just threw the word love in there because it's just a beautiful thing.
Oh, that is so special. So, you have coached many authors. What do you think inspires someone to write?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that question. A lot of people write books for different reasons, and I'll just give you a few of the reasons that some of my over 25 authors that I've worked with collectively. I have a collaboration book with 9 authors, and 5 of those authors are from 5 different countries. And one is from the beautiful country of South Africa as well. And I've helped the independent author in South Africa to publish her book. So that's 2. And Robbie and I also submitted a chapter in a gentleman's book from South Africa. But we have 3 clients in South Africa that we've worked with, along with other countries. But back to your original question, people would like to create content for learning. I mean, life is a lifelong learning process. And if you put it in a book or an online course or like a Zoom course with Dr. Shamila, people can learn some things, a thing or two. If you want to learn a thing or two, then write some content. So some people want to leave a legacy for their children and their children's children. Because when you publish a book, it's in the Library of Congress for 70 to 100 years. So that's generational legacy that you're passing on as well. And some people may want to just share their story, their pain, or something that happened to them that they want to help save others so they won't have to go through those same trial and errors. And you can also use, some business people use their book as a business card. They leverage it by getting panel discussions, media interviews, like the one we're having today, for example. When using your book as a business card is one of the reasons that we went to South Africa and we ended up meeting Charlie, because had I never wrote a book, no one would have asked me, can you come speak on my stage and talk about your story and talk about your book? So writing a book, most people don't understand the power of a book. The power of a book is so imaginative and creative that it can just lead you to places where you never would have went before, just because you're now seen as a person of authority.
Robbie, are you also involved in that?
Yes, I am. Of course, I always have to be involved in everything. I try not to, but it's just how I am.
She can't help it.
I'm typically editor / contributor. Michael is actually the writer. I mean, all of the ideas come out of his head. My job is to kind of structure it and organize it, to, you know, put it in some logical sequence or to do some editing. And then, of course, I'd like to add a few comments or commentary. So typically any book that we write, I either I edit it, or I write a contributing chapter, or I just enhance some things that are there that he may have written. So, and then of course on the back end, behind the scenes, you know, I help out there as well. So we do help each other, and like I said, my primary focus is on the financial side, the education, the empowerment, the elevate, and he's primarily on the creative writing side. So because part of it is, once you do write a book and you start making money, you still need to learn how to keep much more of that money. So that's where I come in to help, you know, help authors and help others learn how to keep their money. What strategies are available for you to take that money that you have and to help it start working for you. We have to change that paradigm from working for your money to your money working for you. And once we do that, then I think our next generation of children will have a better time in the future in managing and growing their finances, because we are leaving a legacy. We're showing as an example of what's possible. So from a book, you could become wealthy. You can do a lot of things that we've done, but you have to take that money that you get from those endeavors and make it grow.
Did you have any Amazon bestsellers?
No, I didn't push to be a bestseller. I pushed for this particular reason. We love bestsellers, and we respect them and we cheer them on, but we prefer the term award winning, because I was the 2017 John H. Johnson Humanitarian Award winner in Chicago in 2017. And my wife, Robbie, was the 2017 Global Women's Humanitarian Award winner in London from the Global Women's Organization. You know, so you can be a bestseller, but there are ways to be a bestseller, but when others recognize you for your work, that's more important to me than the term bestseller. Even though I admire and I accolade, and one day I will be a bestseller. That just hasn't been one of my goals. So now that you put that up there, my goal for 2021 is to become a bestseller.
Lovely. Well, it's around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah, we sell our books, but we primarily initially wrote our books more for inspiration and education, to help, just to kind of inspire people and to help people. It wasn't so much that because we weren't authors, we became authors by kind of default. You know, when Michael wrote the book the first time, it was really just to kind of help, you know, he sold it out the back of his truck when he was going to work. So it was really just kind of helping people learn some of the strategies we did from a financial standpoint. We weren't thinking bestseller, we weren't thinking like that. And then we became speakers, and so that took us on a whole different trajectory. And then we said, well, you know, you ought to create an online course. So we created an online course called Live Wealthy, 7 Principles to Guide You on Your Journey to Abundance, so that we could have something that people can log into and start learning the principles. So all of this started evolving. So it wasn't a focus on being a bestseller, it was a focus on education and educating people through multiple channels. And then, like I said, we'll eventually become that, but that wasn't our focus.
So just talking about financial standpoint, I just want to get my head around this. Is it difficult to get a client to actually, or how can I put this, changing mindsets? What challenges you faced, when you started your business, talking about money and how to manage your finances, and there's always challenges in terms of changing mindsets and getting people to sort of go that route and just change their ways of spending, etc. So do you maybe want to take me through some of those challenges?
Well, for here in the United States, financial literacy education has not and is not a top priority in our school systems, especially in the public school systems. And we are both products of that same public school system that didn't teach me financial education as I went through that system. So as I got older and made the money I made, I was not equipped, even though it's my fault. I should have done it myself, but just push and rewind on to say, if I can change one thing in my life, it would be to add financial literacy education in the global school systems around the world, so people would not have the same financial experience early in life that I had. And it only takes a minute. So it only takes a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon you, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it, and anybody can learn financial principles.
Absolutely. And I think the other issue is cultural. It's cultural.
Yes.
Didn't get the education in school, so we had to learn it from our friends and family, right? So there's different cultures on where we were raised, where you don't talk about money in the family, or if you're a kid, it's like, well, the parents don't want them to know that they're broke or they're having money troubles, or you want to, typically the baby boomers wanted their children to have more than they had growing up, so they showered them with all of the Xboxes and all of the gym shoes and cell phones and all of these things. So the children never understood, they just figured that the stuff will come. So they never understood the struggle, one, to get the money, and number two, that money necessarily doesn't grow on trees. So they were never taught the discipline of managing and understanding and saving money. So what you have to do is you have to point those out. It's just like being alcoholic. You have to stand up and admit you're in trouble, that you need help. And once you make that step to say, I need the help, then your mind is open for transformation. You can show them how to start thinking differently, how to start acting differently. So, for example, everybody knows Michael Jordan, correct? Everybody wanted to be like Mike. So your parents will go out and buy these $200-300 Nike gym shoes to be like Mike. Well, if you really want your child to be like Mike, teach them how to design a gym shoe and sell it to Nike so they can be like Mike. Okay. Yes. So we have to shift our thought processes on how for our children, how to make money, how to become entrepreneurs, and not just how to spend money from mom and dad.
From consumer to creator. From consumer to creator.
And from employee to entrepreneur. So we talk to people, we have them understand why they do the things they do. Why are you spending the money that you're spending? And there's some of it is emotional. You look at your emotions. Why people spend because they're sad, people spend because they're happy, people spend because they're in pain. But when you spend based on emotion, when the bill comes out, it starts a cycle all over again. So you have to ask yourself questions, and you have to set goals. So if I spend this money today, is it going to impact what I'm trying to accomplish in the future?
Versus if I invest this money today, will it grow and impact my future in a positive way?
Right.
Wow, that is so interesting. And, I could listen to you all night long because you speak with such passion. And I can see you enjoy what you do. But just take me through do you have a team, or do you actually do the coaching, the one-on-one coaching all by yourself?
Yes, I do the one-on-one coaching. Up to this point, I've done one-on-one because that was pre-COVID. Because, you know, like I said, people, when it comes to money, they're very sensitive to it, and it can be very emotional. And so it's better sometimes when you do one-on-one coaching with people. We offer what we call a free financial needs analysis, where we sit down with them and they understand where your income is coming from and what are your expenses, so that they can understand what's their monthly cash flow, what's your net worth. People don't even know what their net worth is. So if you don't know how much you're worth financially, how are you going to know what you need to do to increase it or to fix it? If you don't know whether your cash flow monthly is negative or positive, how do you know how you're going to fix it? So until you know where you stand, you can't put things in place. So we help do that. But that's one of the reasons we also are doing the online course, so that we can help more people, more mass of people, because the one-on-one coaching can be very time consuming. But I will do one-on-one coaching, but we're going to do the online program to help people, that they can actually sit down with their, you know, and their families, with their kids, their husbands, and start putting some things in place to understand where they stand financially.
So
and we also do that for our manuscript, our development company. I do the one-on-one coaching. We're going to shift to group coaching, but I'm in the process right now of writing the script for our online program modules, and then we're going to film it and create another course content, because success is all about creation. Or if you latch on to somebody else who's already has an established business and you can improve it by 25 to 30%, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But other than that, we are born to create. And if we don't create, then we're going to be tomorrow, we're going to be yesterday like we was today, which is going to show no growth and all of that type of thing.
yes, absolutely. So what would you say are the 5 steps that one can take to manage their finances? Some sort of advice.
Okay. Get a piece of paper, write this down. Okay, number 1, you have to have the courage and the commitment. You have to become what I call a cat. C is have the courage and the commitment to take control of your personal finances. You're going to have to say no to some things, right? You're going to have to take action. Don't just think about it or wish it or dream it. Write down a plan, write down some goals, get someone to hold you accountable. So action and accountability. And T is for telling the truth. If you're broke, own it. If you're not getting the clients that you want, own it. But don't get frustrated, get educated.
Wow.
And then next one is tracking your spending. You have to know where your money is going. If you don't know where it's going, you can't stop it from going in that direction. So your spending, most likely, learn how to spend on things that are of value to you. Number 3, learn to manage your debt. You don't go out and buy $200-$300 Nikes, all this other stuff that you don't need. Manage your debt. Start paying your debt down. Get a debt management plan in place. Number 4, you must know your financial numbers. What's your credit score? What's your debt to income ratio? Know your health numbers. What's your PSA? What's your blood pressure? Because those require medicines which take away from your ability to grow your money. And number 5 is invest in a coach. Because if you don't know how to do it, then get someone to help you know how to do it. Basketball people have coaches, tennis people have coaches, business people, even Oprah has a coach. Jeff Bezos, those guys, they have coaches to help them to fill the gaps on the things that they don't know. So I would say those are the 5 steps I think you can take today to get you on the path to financial freedom and security.
Wonderful. Do you do online coaching as well?
I do online one-on-one. Now with COVID, I do online one-on-one, absolutely.
Okay, yes.
Awesome. Same here for me with the manuscript division of our company. I do one-on-one online coaching as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on board today and having a chat. I think I've learned so much. I'm going to be able to manage my finances a little better. So thank you so much for that. Lots of inspiration, and I look forward to connecting with you. Before we leave, any last words?
Yes, if people want to contact us, they can go to our tmeginc.com/contact with the dash us. And we want to give all of your viewers a free gift today. A
Wow.
special free gift, including you. Everybody can go to tmeginc.com/special gift. And you will receive Secrets to Breaking Bad Spending Habits as your free gift today. And we would like to close with this, because it's all about choose a wish, find a dream, pick a shooting star. Let your hopes and spirits soar high and free and far. Reach for the unreachable and stretch to touch the sky. No dream you treasure is too far away and high. Believe in the impossible, then work and try and do. For those of you who dare to dream, you can make your dream come true. Michael Robbie Mathews from the United States, and thank you, Brother Charlie, and thank you, Dr. Shamila, Andrea, Ambia, Lester, everybody. I can't mention everybody, but we love you. We thank you. Shayed from Philly, everybody, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Mathews. It was so great having you on the Red Corner Chat. I look forward to chatting to you again in the future, because I'm truly inspired, and I think everyone here is also inspired. Take care, God bless, and we will definitely stay in touch.
Thank you so much, and it was our pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Bye.